Hello and welcome to today's video. When I was filming a couple of reviews recently, I thought it would be interesting to do a little side-by-side video of these two pens. This is the Wingsung 630 and the Moonman P136. They are both quite similarly styled pens, and I have them in different colors and vaguely somewhat different nib sizes, although they write quite similar. The medium in the Moonman, or Majohn, and the 0.5 to 0.7, which is still technically a medium in the Wingsung. But I thought what I would do is I'd show them alongside each other and show the sizes and those kinds of things, and then do a writing sample and just give some thoughts as to where I think they sit. So, side by side, you see these are not dissimilarly styled pens, very obviously. You can watch my full review of both of these pens for a little bit more information, but the Wingsung comes in a few millimeters longer in this form than the Moonman or Majohn. Not by much, but just by a little bit. And I think one of the big differences is obviously in the width, where it's the body width is 2 millimeters wider on the Wingsung at the points on the cap, and the grip sections, you've got a difference of about 2 millimeters as well. So obviously, and you can see here, a roughly number 6 size nib versus a roughly number 8 size nib. You can see that the Wingsung is kind of like the Montblanc 149, and the Majohn Moonman is like the 146. That's the kind of size comparison that you can put alongside these pens, both by Chinese makers, both similar ink windows. You can't quite see it on the Wingsung, but it's the same sort of cutout ink window, sort of similar, smaller, well, shorter but girthy sections with a little flare out on the end of each of them. Both piston fillers, all of those kinds of things. This particular Moonman doesn't post. Like, you can put the cap on there, but it doesn't stay. The Wingsung does post, and I actually really like the fact that it does, and it feels good when it's posted. But the uncapped lengths, which is how I prefer to write with both of them, like that, the Moonman, Majohn, is 128 versus 135 here for the Wingsung. And you can see there's obviously a lot of extra length from the nibs, but also there's quite a bit of extra length there on the back of the body as well. So much girthier pen, similar styling. Let's see how they both write. So if you watched my review, you know how I feel about both of these pens and how they write. But we'll just do the quick writing sample with the Moonman. Majohn P136 with Montblanc Toffee brown ink. So this has a medium steel nib, and you can see that it doesn't do it all the time, obviously. When it writes, it actually writes quite wet, but like it did there, you do get little skips and hard starts and all that from this nib occasionally. It's just not consistent enough. And as I said in the review, it's happened multiple times, multiple different styles of writing, all that kind of thing. Then we get the Wingsung 630 model with Montblanc Midnight Blue ink. I've really enjoyed writing with this Wingsung pen. This has, I'm going to call it a medium, but it's labeled as it was labeled as a 0.5 to 0.7 mil nib. And once again, this is steel. And I really, really like this nib. It's quite wet. It's got good flow. It's consistent. I just really like that Wingsung 630. I like the feel of it in the hand. I like the way it writes. Just is as it is. So that's the two pens writing. So what can we expect? Well, this pen, the Moonman or Majohn, costs 36 Australian dollars, or it cost me 36 Australian dollars. And the Wingsung cost me around the 60 Australian dollar mark. Both bought on Chinese market sites like eBay or AliExpress. And both arrived quickly, all of that kind of stuff. There's never any issue with that to Australia. But in terms of the writing experience, I prefer the Wingsung. If you can get it cheaper than 60 Australian or whatever your appropriate currency is, on the cheaper end of it, get it at that price. I think the Moonman is not a pen I will turn to after I've finished filming these videos on it, because it's just not consistent enough. I've had it skip like that occasionally, or I've had issues with it where it will skip consistently. And so it's very, very hit and miss. So my money, even though it's a little bit more expensive, would be on the Wingsung 630. It's a pen I really enjoy. They're both, you know, similarly styled pens, cigar shape, classic colors, classic trim, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, as I said, I put my money behind the Wingsung there. So thank you for watching. I hope this was interesting. Like and subscribe, hit the notifications button. Get in touch if there's a way you'd like to support the channel. In the meantime, enjoy your pens, enjoy writing, and I'll talk to you soon.